I think most of people are here today, and we can start. So I can maybe share my screen. Wait. Okay. I will share my screen. And so, okay, good. I didn't really, put everything into this list based on your email yet, but I think most of you already have some rolling result, and what we have encountered recently from our side is a problem of the thresholds regarding the bootstrap criteria. So basically, maybe I can share you a something like, not this one, but like this one. So sometimes your 10th percentile of that criteria might be too high, and you miss some of your data while applying the threshold. So maybe this one is not. Okay, so I'll just show an example. Maybe this is not so good, but just to show what the problem is and what we may have to change. Oh, sorry. So for example, so for example, my P10 in this area, like in the autumn, the September, October, and November, I have a P10 of the BBOA versus BC wood burning like 0.5 or something. But you see, like those points in the rolling result. Okay, this is a rolling result. So in my the P10th percentile of my criteria in my seasonal solution, I have 10th percentile of 0.5 or something of this R square of BBOA versus BC wood burning. So if I apply the 0.5, then I will miss the whole, September. So this could be a problem for you as well. So this is a problem for Anna, at least, and me as well. Maybe it's not for Francesco, but when we apply the 10th percentile, it potentially has this problem. And so what do we think about maybe, well, I will work is we usually, instead of using the 10th percentile in here, we can use, here the p-value, the t-test, then you apply the solutions only with the p-value smaller than 0.01 or 0.05, whatever you think it's significant. Basically, this p-test, the t-test is the to test how significant is this correlation in these factors. And another thing maybe we can do is we can also, instead of using the 10th percentile, we can use the minimum of that distribution. Then you can accept more points, but I don't know. I mean, like, we still need to test this method. I don't know, do you guys also have similar problems? No?
Yes, I think we have, yeah.
Okay, so basically, I think it means that maybe the bootstrap is not sufficient, you know, like when in the seasonal PMF, when the idea of the bootstrap is basically you wanted to, you know, like to resample the selected PMF runs and the corresponding external tracers, and then you say, oh, this subset of the selected run solutions and the external tracers could have this small correlation, then we think it will be representative for the rolling PMF, because we also do the because the rolling PMF has a smaller window, but maybe the reality is that this bootstrap has limitations. It does not really sample as small as enough. I mean, it's not small enough to capture the subset of the data. Is not small enough to capture the variabilities of, you know, these correlations. So that's could be the problem. And I guess so far the p-value thing is actually very promising for Anna's data, at least. And I'm testing it. I also see like I also see a very the Oscar so far for the whole year average is if I using the p-value only, it seems like it's okay, but I haven't looked into the detail for each seasons. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys can also check it out. I will maybe update the protocol somehow, and you can follow the protocol to test it and to see which way is better. I mean, if this p-value works, maybe it will facilitate the whole analysis, because you don't really need a very decent seasonal solutions by doing this. But like we are not sure yet, because it works. Things work for Francesco, but not for me and Anna. So we'll see. I just let you guys know, maybe here it's a potential change for this threshold thing. But I mean, it's certainly worthwhile to explore the seasonal PMF, because it's still crucial to determine how many number of factors you have. Yeah, so do you guys have any questions regarding this? Anna, are you here? Yes.
Yes.
Could you maybe you can share your slides about that p-value, what the difference, maybe it's more clear about from your side, because I didn't prepare any slides yet.
Okay, just
I will stop sharing.
Just need a minute to log on to
Sure.
PSI server.
Sure.
I have some problems with
Do you guys have any questions so far? Maybe Benjamin, do you have similar problems like your 10th percentile is actually very too high to apply for your seasonal runs for maybe for your rolling PMF?
Sorry, say it again.
So do you have similar problems like your 10th percentile of the criteria bootstrap is too high to apply in the rolling PMF?
Not really, actually. And for sure, it depends on which factor. For HOA and COA, it's quite okay. I mean, if I do that, I still keep like more than 50% of the runs for HOA and COA. And for biomass burning, actually, don't use the bootstrap on the criteria. I do some similar stuff, but I mean, it's quite different. I try to separate different period because, you know, for what you showed on your PBOA versus BC wood burning data, you have during the cold period, you have like really nice correlation. Then you have really scores which goes down during hot period. Actually, I split it this into 3 periods. So the good one when you have a good correlation, a bad one when you are in the hot period, and then the transitional one. You know, it's especially during spring and autumn. And then I applied different threshold according to the transitional period and the hot period and the cold period. Sorry, I don't know if you see what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you have see similar things like your correlation actually, like for example, HOA correlation vary a lot in one season in the rolling PMF, the score of the criteria. You know what I mean? Like for example, it could jump from 0.1 up to 0.8, for example.
No, not really actually. No, it's quite stable.
Or BBOA, whatever, like maybe so it's too much. I mean, there are still too much seasonal variabilities. What I'm saying is, and the seasonal PMF cannot capture it, but when you do the criteria of the criteria bootstrap, it gives you very high 10th percentile. Then when you apply to the rolling, then you miss a lot of data. That's what I mean. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. I understand what you said, but no, actually, I mean, for me now it's okay. And before for some previous versions, I had actually 10 percentile, which was too high. But it was mainly because of some Sophie issue, you know. I mean, Francesco told me it was about the indexation. Like, I mean, I wanted to do the ratio for cooking, for example, and what was displayed, I mean, the scores which was displayed in the criteria panel, it was not the good one. So that was just a Sophie issue. But now, I mean, for me, it's okay.
I see. Maybe Anna can show in more details, I guess.
Yes, I can.
That's good if it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
But it apparently affects me and Anna.
Yeah, what I did, I also did, I bootstrapped my seasonal solutions, and so these are my criteria here, and I focus now mostly on the explained variation of MNet 60 for biomass burning, the explained variation of 115 for coal combustion, I'm still not exactly sure about the correlation with chloride, but here I have the seasonal thresholds, and if I apply the seasonal thresholds, I kind of miss a lot of points. I mean, in this slide here, it's mostly due to chloride that is somehow not going very well, but also already here in the, these graphs, maybe I should explain this. So the first graph is the explained variation of MZ60 in the BBA, then the explained variation of 115, and then here the correlation with chloride. And if I put everything in using the seasonal thresholds that I have from the bootstrap, I end up with almost 50% of missing points. What I then also looked into was just using the seasonal thresholds for the explained variation, which is this first window here, when I end up with 2.5% of missing data. Whereas if I don't use the seasonal threshold for the explained variation, but the p-value, I actually end up with 0% of missing data. And then if I do also include the chloride as a criteria, where I use p-values smaller than 0.1 for the colder period and 0.9 for June to October, I end up with 9% missing points versus 0.7 missing points. So for me, somehow, I think one issue with the seasonal thresholds for the explained variation is that, especially in my first winter, I have a lot of variability, as you can see here. So I don't, if I use the seasonal thresholds for the explained variation, I somehow do not really capture this first period here, even though we have high contribution of cold during that time. And also for some other periods, I kind of not capture all the solutions that are or would be good based on the explained variation. I don't know if that made it a bit clearer from what kind of problems I have.
Does anyone else have similar problems? I mean, except Mina, me, myself, and Anna.
I also had these issues with percentile 10, and what I did was just relaxing the thresholds like at 20%, so I didn't need that many runs. But if another technique could be advised, it would be better, because I don't have a justifiable way to explain why I did this, just because I was missing too many days. And what I also tried for this issue was to run, I mean, if for example we are treating a whole autumn and I see a month which has a tendency in the scores and the other 2 months are behaving differently, I try to bootstrap the season or the months separately. So I adjust the window of PMF seasonal to the score plots. I mean, that's a dull solution. It generates a lot of work. But
so did you actually do like the seasonal PMF monthly, basically, or?
Not monthly, but if any characteristic period appeared, I try to apply a shorter window. I mean, yes, okay. At some point, yes, I did it monthly.
Okay. So another thing maybe could make it work is I don't know how different is your minimum value versus your 10th percentile. So I mean, for me and for Anna, it doesn't. It's not so different. But if it's very different for you, maybe you can also use the minimum value. I mean, so I think the minimum value is kind of also make some sort of sense because in your seasonal solution, you basically assume all your solution selected is good runs. So when you use the minimum threshold, it's also kind of means like in your rolling PMF, if you apply this threshold, your rolling PMF will at least better than your seasonal PMF. I think the minimum value should also work, but only if when they are significantly different from the 10th percentile. But yeah, I think what I will do. But I mean, I think most of you already have the seasonal solutions. But I think you can also try the p-value things and see how different it is. Then we can see which way works better for all of us. Then we can conclude which way we go in the end. Okay, so maybe we can go over. Okay, so maybe you guys can start to ask some questions, and no matter, I mean, the Q&A, we can do the Q&A right now. If you guys have any questions, just for the rolling PMF or whatever, not just or seasonal PMF also. If you want to discuss. No? Okay, so maybe if that's the case, we can go over the progress again. Is this ready? So Olga, I didn't see your emails, but do you have any progress so far?
No, I'm just I'm in seasonal.
Doing seasonal, have you run the bootstrap? Seasonal
Yes.
bootstrap? Okay. And but I think so you are doing different rolling windows size, right? If I remember.
Yes, I did it now with, I tried 28 days and 14. 14 worked better for me. And what I'm doing now is to roll it with the proper number of calls regarding the A-value combination.
Sorry, say it again.
So depending on the combination of A-values, you have to do the PMF call a certain number of times. So that's what I'm doing, and it's going pretty slow, and averaging takes a lot of days.
So you basically increase the repeats per window.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Good.
And I've got a little issue. Can I comment it?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember from the last meeting, but I had a thing with the edges of 4-factor and 5-factor solution.
Oh, yeah.
So I tried to apply criteria for the differentiation criteria, let's say, until 7 days before the transition and 7 days afterwards the transition.
Yeah.
And it resulted in a gap between these days of the transition. I'm not sure if I applied it correctly, but it feels weird already.
So
I
you
will
have
present
a
it maybe.
you have a gap, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you only select, for example, 4 factors in 7 days before
Yes.
the transition period,
Yes.
and only select the 5-factor solution 7 days after.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, I mean, then you will miss 14 days in the middle, right?
But I shouldn't be missing days, because if the last day with criteria applied represents the middle of the window, this should cover the 7 following days. And the same with the 7th day after the edge of the period. It's a thing I have to go deeper with, but it's troublesome.
So by doing that, you have a gap, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Is that possible? I mean, do you really use, so are you basically missing exactly 14 days in the middle?
Nope, it's more irregular.
It's not systematic.
I
It's
have
just
to
random, you mean?
look deeper on this, because I don't have the file prepared now.
Okay.
So I cannot look it, but strange things are happening, because also I'm missing days I shouldn't have been missing. So I will tell you in a few weeks.
Yeah, sure. Maybe, yeah, we can schedule a Zoom meeting maybe next week or something.
I wanted to ask if anyone else does have this matter. Is
I
anyone
think
else having this problem?
I will show you. Maybe I think I do have similar thing, but I didn't try the same thing like you did. So So you can see in this plot. So I think I select, from March to September, I have 5-factor solution. So you see like this period, it has 4-factor, it's supposed to have 4-factor solution, but it has 5-factor solution. So, and also here.
That happened to me before trying all these things, and that's why I wanted to make it clear.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like it will be still okay, even though you select 5 factors during the transition period, as long as they are not averaging like both 4 and 5-factor solutions, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really has much difference, either 4 and 5-factor solution during the transition period, I will say, but I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know if, I think some of you guys already try to average it for by combining the HDF files, right? Like how it works. Trinshui, do you have an idea? Does this have similar problems, or this problem is properly solved?
I don't quite understand what you mean transition period. Because in my case, I constrain BBOA during the heating season but did not constrain it during summer. So
No,
then
I
I
mean,
combine.
Do you
Yeah.
have like a I don't remember now, but do you have like a 4 to 5 factor solutions like for different seasons?
Yes. In summer we don't have BBOA, so only 3 factors, and in other seasons we have 1 more factor. So
Okay,
then,
so for example, you started the summer in June for the 1st of June. Then
yeah,
during this day, when you're combining everything together, did you see like you have also how it works? I mean, like in the June 1st, like did they also have like, because in the June 1st you selected 3 factor solution, but
yeah,
before June 1st you only have 4 factor solution, right? But so
yeah.
when you combine everything together, does it have like as I in my plot right here in the before the March 1st, I have
Yeah.
like a 5 factor solution, but in your case before the June 1st, do you have also 3 factor solutions, let's say?
No. Because I constrain it, it's always 4 factor for before June.
I think, okay, then I think Mata, I think that's probably, I don't know, I mean, that's maybe the better way to solve this problem, I guess. What you can do, I guess, is maybe to, I don't know, maybe only select. So in the new Sophie, you have like the option to only select 4 factor solutions. So for 5 factor solution during a certain time or period, but maybe even though it, yeah, I don't know, maybe you have to do like that to combine them together afterwards, then you can eliminate this problems properly.
So run 2 different rolling PMFs.
Sorry?
So you mean to run different PMFs for the 4 factor and 5 factor periods?
Yeah.
And join them together afterwards.
Yeah. So by labeling them, by label for different factors properly, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but
we need to think about it. I mean, does it matter or not? Like to have this kind of mixing in the transition period. Is that still okay to have such a solution? That's my, I don't know. I don't have a conclusion of this, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it okay like to have something like mixing in middle, like 4 and 5 factor solutions, both averaged?
I guess it would matter if, for example, I mean, during this average transition period, if you have, for example, like really high residuals, then I mean you should solve the problem. But if it's not the case, I would say it's no big deal.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's, I mean.
True. So Mata, in your previous PMF solutions, so when you have this problem like I had right now, did you see like a significant jump during the transition period of your scale residual, like when you look into the time series of this scale residual?
I can tell right now because I don't have it here.
Okay.
It's hard to find at this point, but I will go back to you with this.
Sure.
Thank you.
And also another thing you can look into, does this matter to check if this is okay or not? You can also look into the time dependent profiles, like you average the for example, the 5-factor solution during this transition period for this like 7-day or whatever, to see how this factor profile looks like and does it make sense. Then you can decide, is it okay to leave it there?
Okay.
Otherwise, you need to run it season for different seasons, then it will be a problematic. It will take too much time, I guess. If you can justify it's okay, then I think it's will be okay. So I mean, here, I mean, this problem, I think for the lesson for you guys is it's better to run it season-wise for the rolling PMF. Then you can have the smoother transition if you have the differentiate number of factors. Okay. Here, I think it's not available. Trinshui, I don't remember your emails. Sorry, so can you maybe mention?
Just as I said, I have updated rolling results and with constraining BBOA differently in summer, because we don't expect BBOA in summers. So, but we constrain BBOA in other seasons. Then we combine 2 SDF files together and get the final solution. And this is the same for doubling case.
Okay.
So, but also, like, because even during season 4, like the early September, we also don't expect BBO, but that needs more detailed look. I haven't done that. I just roughly do for summer and non-summer.
Okay. Okay, I see. Thank you. I think Mina. Yeah, Mina, can you maybe briefly describe?
Yes, I have now tested or have calculated the 28 window shift, but I'm still combining the results because I didn't know how to do it, and now I have maybe all the needed information to do that, and then I have to again calculate the 14 days windows with more like 50 times, because I just calculated like 20 times per window. So I haven't done that yet, but I think that's quite forwarded to do it.
So regarding the time window, I think maybe what you can do is after you apply the thresholds,
yeah,
maybe it's faster to just, you know, so it's basically after you press this button, apply selections.
yeah,
you say yes. Then
yes.
you get even before averaging, because maybe averaging takes times. So
okay.
after you apply the selection, for example, right here, you apply yes, then you will have the statistics in this panel. Then you can see how many missing days. Then before you even averaging, you can compare how many missing days you have with your data from your 14 days, for example. Then you can decide whether or not you need to go to average at all.
Okay. Yeah.
So then it may save you some times.
Okay.
One more thing, maybe is after you apply, press this button and you just press cancel.
Mm.
Like this, maybe in the averaging setting, you need a reset. Make sure you select it properly. I think last time there's a problem here. You see, like I think previously, now it's okay, but one more thing about the averaging, it will be faster if you don't check this, the quantiles. So I guess you guys already know this, but it will be helpful. You can also average it day-wise.
Okay.
So I think after if you press this button and you click on cancel, you better to check this average setting before you go to average. It might be reset. Will be different from the last time. So maybe you need to check it out. Okay, and Malpit, Samira, I think you have run the rolling for some of the seasons, right?
Yes,
For spring, right?
yes, for the spring.
Yes, and Benjamin, I think you probably already done.
Yeah, I need to send to you the experiment, and now that the solution is done. Yeah.
Okay, good. Jenny, I think.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with the seasonal part. I did bootstrap.
Yeah.
I'm not confident that I get it for the winter time the best solution, and I try to constrain with our HOA and the cooking from the MS, and it works better in our case.
Yeah.
So that's it for now.
Okay. Improved, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, Anna, you already have rolling result. Is Lila here? What's Andre tuned in? Lila, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Yeah. So I think you didn't send me an email, right? But do you? Okay, I think Sean
George
did.
he just sent you an email.
So what's your progress again? You started the rolling by constraining Yinjiang's PBOA, right? Started by constraining. Hello, Andre.
Hi, Ian. Sorry, I'm late. Very late.
Maybe we can, yeah. I mean, after this, we can talk about that again. So about the window shift for Marta's problem. Let's see. So Lena, I think you start to run rolling using the protocol, right?
Somewhat. Yes, I will. I haven't started, but I know what I will do. I got my anthropogenic OA reference, which I will constrain, but otherwise following the protocol.
Okay, good. Good, and I think Hans already have a really good seasonal solutions, right? Have you started this rolling yet, Hans? I don't remember.
Yes, the rolling results are ready for spring.
Okay. And Petro, I think you are still doing the seasonal PMF, right?
Yes, you are right. We are doing second round of seasonal.
Okay. So another thing, I think we have is the doodle. I don't think so. Most of you have signed up yet about our next, like the next workshop. So maybe it will be helpful if you guys can, sign up as soon as possible. Then I can finalize the time. Or we can just define it right now. Only 14 people signed up. So you guys all have the link, right?
Yeah, maybe you send around the link one more time.
Okay, I will send it in the chat. Maybe you guys can fill in right now. Yeah, so Andre, I think maybe will be, what do you think about the window, transition period, about the rolling PMF? Like Mata tried to only average, maybe for example, 4-factor solutions before March, and by 7 days before March, only 4-factor solutions, and then 7 days after March 1st for 5-factor solution. So like that, but end up she got some gaps in the middle because maybe he didn't really she didn't select, because in the transition time, I don't know if it's okay for us to have some 5-factor solutions before the March, and I don't know. So she tried to averaging like that way, but end up has some gaps.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I wouldn't prefer a solution with gaps. I would rather try to. I don't know. One could. Instead of using a gap, saying when it gets lower, you could also say you run a 4. You use 4 and 5 time, but you then select until the end of February. You select only the 4 factors solutions, and from starting of 1st of March, you select the 5 factors.
Yeah, that's what we all did, but
yeah, but then you don't have a gap.
It has like a mixing, like in the middle, it averaging both 4 and 5 factors solutions.
Yeah, but you would, the 4 factor you would calculate beyond the end of February.
Yes, but like some of the data point you selected because the time window is, for example, 14 days. You selected in the March 1st 5-factor solution will cover part of days before this,
yeah,
at the end of February. So that
yes.
could be the problem. I mean,
why is it a problem?
why? Because I mean, in the seasonal runs, you might you think you only want the 4-factor solution for the December, January, and February. But in the rolling, it's not just averaging the 4-factor solution, but also 5-factor solution together. And sometimes it causing the enhancement of the scale residual during this period.
Yeah, but I would still, I mean, sure, you have both options. I mean, you either throw away the period where you have this kind of overlap, or you say, okay, you extend the fourth. I mean, you kind of go a little bit beyond the seasonal period for both, actually, for both the 4-factor solution and the 5-factor solution. You go a little bit beyond, and then you don't lose any data. But sure, I mean, it would need to be discussed in the method. Yeah, I mean, that this is, I mean, obviously there I mean, that's a compromise you have to kind of take during that period. But I still think it's a pity just to throw away then half of the window. I mean, if you consider, even if you would have a larger window of 28 days, eventually, if somebody uses that, then you would throw away even much more data. No? So it would be a bit. I wouldn't do that. I mean, but I think you need to run. I mean, if it's a 14-day, you need to run on the 4-day window until the 7th of March, I guess.
Yeah.
And then and the 5 factors, at least from whatever the 21st on, from the 21st of February on, or something like that. And then you just pick just that from March 1st on, you just pick the 5-factor solution average, and until the 28th of February, you pick the 4-factor.
Okay.
I don't know. I would do it this way, but that's my opinion. I don't know if others have other opinions. I'm happy to listen, but I don't know. I still think it's a pity to throw away data.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not good to throw away data, but I think the option for people who didn't do it, who can just start the rolling PMF now, is to run the rolling season-wise, then you combine it afterwards, then we'll not have this problem.
Yeah, or I mean, if you do the full year, I mean, you maybe have to run it twice. Yeah, you have to maybe run it. It's maybe anyway good exercise to run it in different number of factors.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know if what Sophie allows, how Sophie allows you to, or I mean, what is the easiest way to put it together, the results afterwards?
I think it's already doable. I mean, I think Chunshui already tried to combine
the
HDF files. It works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, it works.
Okay. Yeah, then. I mean, is there a strong opinion against this, or is it not clear? Or
no, I mean,
it's anyway the seasonal. You know, if you do a seasonal solution, it's also not precise. I mean, within 7 days, I mean, this is partially arbitrary chosen, because on in individual year, I mean, when really the transition period happens, I mean, that depends on. That can be in every year a bit different. You know, you have more warm days in one year already in March or whatever, and depending on the location, maybe actually the meteorological seasons are actually longer and shorter and so on. I mean, it's I mean, in theory, even the exact time of the season, I mean, could also be chosen, you know, but I mean, depending on the sites or even depending on the specific measurements of that year. But I don't know. I mean, and then, yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't matter that much if we kind of, I mean, typically maybe have a 14-day window and we somehow, I mean, we just stretch the window by another 7 days. I mean, that's, I don't think that's a big issue in my.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just for just a question for people already run the PMF, like before that version of the Sophie came out.
Oh,
so that's what Mata has, the problem Mata has, and also myself. So
yeah, okay, it's about the time to rerun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, if you're really convinced otherwise about, I mean, about your solution, I mean, if that's then the final thing to do, I would still invest that time, or let the computers do it for you. I mean, hopefully, yeah. I don't know how much time it exactly costs.
It's quite time consuming, I would say, because the criteria evaluation and the averaging can also easily be a week, and plus the maybe 3 and 4 days for the PMF, and it could be 1.5 weeks easily. Yeah. So
I mean, you don't want to do that too early. I mean, but maybe at the very end, it's maybe still fine.
maybe we can just finalize the date now. Shall we, or we wait a bit? I think 1 day should be enough, right?
This is so the next meeting will be
for the workshop. I mean, presenting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think 1 day should be enough.
Okay. Then. I don't know which day you prefer. We have 4 potential dates.
Just maybe avoid the Monday, and then anything else is okay.
Okay. Let me see. July. Then
is Veronique part of this today?
She only available on July 2nd.
Right.
And the 9th.
The 9th, yeah.
Yeah, I was also kind of. I think she.
I mean,
probably good. She will be.
She has. I mean, if she thinks she can. I mean, she has not present anything from her on her side yet. I mean, depends a little bit if she is ready until that date. Then it would be nice to have Veronique as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we could choose one of the days before.
Yeah, I think Jenny.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I can manage to be on 9, 10.
Okay.
I didn't was sure, but I think I can struggle to manage if Veronique and everybody will be then.
Okay.
Maybe we use the Thursday then, not July 9th.
Yep. Sure.
That's good.
Okay. Good. Then this is fixed. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just to repeat what I mentioned in the emails about, like, we might need to make decisions on the second workshop about what data we gonna use for the paper. So yeah, I guess you guys all need to keep your promise right here. Then we all see. Okay, I guess that's it. Thank you very much. And I will send out the email. Then you will have more details about this workshop. Or you guys, or anyone still have questions, you can still, I can wait here and you can ask. Okay, then. Then see you guys. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. See you next time.
Yeah,
Thank you,
see
Jan.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.